Hi, I'm Josh Elliott, the guy who reviews movies that nobody else cared to see. So, Valentine's Day was a couple weeks ago, and I'm not in a relationship, so I went and saw Peter Rabbit all by myself. And it was a fun time. Partly because it actually wasn't that bad of a movie. And I'm not gonna lie, this movie looked pretty stupid from the trailers, but Domhnall Gleeson's in it. He is one of my favorite actors, so I literally saw this movie just for him. So Peter Rabbit is based off the classic children's books of the same name, about a group of rabbits stealing vegetables from Mr. McGregor, this mean old man that lives near them. But this movie kind of does a little twist on it. Mr. McGregor has a heart attack and dies near the very beginning of the movie. And then his nephew decides to move to the countryside to make the house look really nice and have really nice vegetation so he can sell it. But then he ends up falling in love with this girl who lives nearby named Bee. Bee is really nice to the rabbits, and this new Mr. McGregor is not nice to the rabbits. And so it's basically this slapstick showdown between the rabbits and Mr. McGregor. Yeah, it's silly, but it's family-friendly fun. We kind of touched in on this in the Jumanji review, where we discussed if something is stupid, does that make it bad? I think just because something has stupid humor or silly humor, that does not mean it's effortless humor. I think lots of movies can just take stupid humor, throw it at the screen, and then just expect the audience to find it funny because it thinks that they're not intelligent. But I do think lots of movies can take their genre and be really clever with it. I wouldn't call Peter Rabbit really clever, but it's not bad humor. It's harmless humor, and it's cute humor. Yeah, there are occasional puns, there's slapstick humor. The slapstick humor is actually the weakest humor of the movie because it's very clear that Domhnall Gleeson isn't actually getting hurt. It's all camera tricks or editing tricks. Aside from slapstick humor, this movie actually does have pretty good physical humor though, if that makes sense. There's a scene where Peter Rabbit is fighting with Mr. McGregor. They don't want Bee to know that they're fighting. And so anytime she walks back into the room, they make it look like they're getting along with each other really well. They're fighting, and then they start making it look like they're getting along with each other really well, but she hasn't walked back into the room. They both just kind of expected it to happen like the audience would. I thought that was pretty funny. There's this other running gag throughout the movie about a rooster that I find funny. Not all of the gags work. There's this one about Peter Rabbit's three sisters, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, and one of them, I can't even remember which one, is constantly thinking she should be the one to make all the decisions because she's the oldest. It's never funny. Then they actually try and make it into a character arc, and no. Peter Rabbit himself actually has a pretty interesting character arc. Their parents are dead, and so it's about him trying to take control of the family and be the rabbit that he knew his parents would want him to be. But then he just starts trying too hard. And this overconfidence is ultimately what causes his downfall. Oh, there's a scene in this movie that is so dumb because the narrator goes, if this was a typical movie, then this is what would happen. But this isn't that type of movie, so they didn't do that. But they just did. It literally just did what it says this type of movie would not do. It's dumb, it's lazy. Sorry, I'm nitpicking. Really, this movie's problems are limited to multiple nitpicks. There are lots of things that you can nitpick about this movie, but all in all, it really is just a cute family movie. Rose Byrne is really cute as Bee. She plays that sweet neighborly girl next door really well. She just has a charm to her. She doesn't really have much to do though. The real core of the story though comes from Domhnall Gleeson. Yeah, he's my favorite actor because he can play such a variety of characters. He can be the leading man as he is in Ex Machina and Frank, but he's also such a character actor, and he is hamming it up as Mr. McGregor. Yes, he's playing a character, but he does it so freaking well. He plays like upper class, stick in the mud, stubborn character, but when he's thrown into the situation where he has no control, he just goes totally nuts, crazy, insane, and oh my god, it's so believable. I mean, it's not believable, it's a character, but he pulls it off so well. He even manages to make us sympathize with the character as well. He goes through this great character arc. I loved every second he was on screen. I love every second he's on screen in any movie. He's just an awesome person, and I want to be him. Overall, Peter Rabbit is a very flawed movie with humor that lands about half the time and doesn't the other half. I still respected it as a family movie. I still continuously found it cute even in its flaws, and the actors, no, they're not like Oscar-winning performances, but they all go for it. It's admirable, it's cute, and even if you don't like it, it's harmless. Honestly, there are worse kids movies out there, especially at this time of year. So I'm gonna give Peter Rabbit a solid 6. So what did you think of Peter Rabbit if you saw it? Please comment below to let me know. Click here to subscribe and click here to watch our last video. Thank you guys so much.